Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets. Today, joined by my dad, Evan.
Jarl of Yeast.
Yes, I've actually already reviewed this beer, but I had a bottle myself, and I thought it'd be fun to share a beer like this with Dad because this is quite out of the ordinary and not something you usually get to try. And also just to try it again with a fresh palate. When we did the blind tasting of this and some other beers, it was a few beers in during a bottle share, so it's going to be fun to try it with a fresh palate now. But this is the European version of Omnipollo. Whoa, smoke alarm. Smoke alarm just went off. That's what happens. But this is the European brewed version of the side project and Omnipollo Billionaire's hot chocolate. So side project is the most hyped stout brewer in the world, and Omnipollo did a collab with them. So they made a version at side project in the U.S. in St. Louis in Missouri, and then they also brewed a version in Europe. And the European one was aged in Willet rye whiskey barrels for 3 years, which are the barrels that Corey likes the most. Then at Omnipollo, Hinnock sent samples of all the different barrels to Corey from Side Project, and they did a live tasting together where he talked about which barrels he think would be best to blend together to one beer. And that final beer they aged on Ugandan vanilla beans and coconut. So this is a beer that's taken about 4 years to make, which is crazy. So let's try it.
Yeah.
If you try and swirl this in the glass, look at it.
That's
It looks like chocolate sauce.
yeah.
It's really thick.
It's thick and hangs on the side of the glass.
Yeah. It's pitch black as well. Like the other one was black. This is it's crazy dark.
And a very dark head too.
Yeah, it's like really dark colored brown. It looks like, it looks crazy. I can smell it from here. And crazy curtains on the side of the glass. But yeah, so coconut, vanilla, rye barrel aged Imperial Stout.
Okay.
On 12.5%.
I'm not as good as at smelling at the moment. I don't know if it's because of Corona or what. But my smelling ain't too good.
No.
But let's try and smell it.
Yeah. What do you think? Can you smell something?
Yeah. The coconut.
Yeah, lots of coconut.
Lots of coconut.
I'm also getting lots of rye whiskey. Yeah. Loads of really sticky, like burnt roasty maltiness as well. And lots of caramel. And fudge. Yeah, lots of coconut. Almost like, it's got that slightly drømmekage, like the caramelized coconut on top of a drømmekage. A little bit. I get that sometimes in these big stouts with coconut. And lots of vanilla too. Like blind, I noticed both vanilla and coconut more the second time around smelling it, but I noticed a lot of vanilla. But I think it's because the beer I was comparing it to had lots of vanilla, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's got vanilla too, when I was looking for similar aromas. But I didn't pinpoint that it was a rye whiskey barrel. And I think this is pretty impressive. But trying it again now with a fresh palate, just smelling it, it has that spicy, almost cinnamon rye nuance. It's got a lot of confectionery, like chocolatey aromas. It smells really good. Heavy, like dark chocolate as well, and also a bit of milk chocolate. It smells really good. You want to try this?
Yeah, let's
see what
try
you think. Let's do it. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's a rich beer. This is quite different from what we just had. I'm getting lots of cinnamon.
Yeah.
Actually.
Coconut.
Yeah, and lots of coconut.
Yeah. Vanilla.
Yeah.
Sweetness.
Yeah.
Lots of sweetness.
Lots of caramel. But also hardly roasted malty flavors that it's almost like a little bit of a dark cherry.
Yeah.
An almond.
Yeah. What is it called? Barley wine.
Yeah, with all the sticky caramel.
Yeah.
I can see that barley wine is heavy roasted malt.
Yeah.
Lots of chocolate. It's not as rich. It's really rich, but it's a bit more sharp in its nuances than some Side Project beers. Side Project is even more layered and a little bit more soft and rounded.
Yeah.
But it has an awesome flavor profile with lots of barrel character.
Yeah, and the caramel and the coconut and the vanilla, I taste that very much.
I think it's really fucking great. I love that rye whiskey barrel. I think rye whiskey barrels are not used too much in Europe because they're not as easy to come by, which is a shame. I love that it's somewhat similar to a bourbon aroma, but it has spiciness and edges and like that like almost appley cinnamon dark cherry thing. I think the cinnamon is mostly from the barrel, but the like red apple and dark cherry type flavor I'm getting in there. I think that's a combination of like heavy roasted malts and these barrels. And it's like no cinnamon's in here, but I think there's a very heavy cinnamon esque flavor profile to it. Yeah. It is really rich
and creamy feeling in the mouth.
It's really creamy.
Yeah.
Really full, really coating, really rich dark chocolate as well. And lots of vanilla too. And a really fudgy vanilla. Like almost like frosting or something like that. But, it's stout first, adjunct second, which I really like. It tastes like a crazy rich Imperial stout. It's not like some of the pastry stouts nowadays are so sweet and artificial. This is a big stout with adjuncts, which I really like.
Definitely a beer of my taste.
Yeah, I thought it would be. I thought that's why I wanted to share it. And the next one we're going to have is going to be even crazier. So,
yeah.
I thought it would be fun to share some of these hype beers with you. But I think I will agree with my blind tasting grade. Maybe even bump it up a little bit. Just I really love the barrel character on this one. I haven't had a European beer with rye whiskey barrels that are as good as this. I think. And I think people are way too harsh on this. Some people are so hard on it. Like I've seen so many people. Europeans are so hard with grades, which is stupid. But like some people, and I'm guessing it's because it's not sour, but there's like a tartness. Like you can almost like when you drink coffee, some like a strong espresso. It has that tart sourness ish. You're getting some of this in here, and there's definitely espresso type. Chocolate covered espresso bean, cherry espresso bean type thing, almost like espresso with amaretto or something. And I think that like tart, sharp, roasty, almost sourness is some off-putting for some people, but I like it because it's just flavor from roasted malt, and it just shows that it's a stout. So yeah, I gave it a 95 blind. I'm gonna stick to that, maybe even towards a small 96 because I'm having it with a fresh palate now, and I like it more.
Due to the taste of the sweetness, which I like in a stout, I'll go 96.
That's really good. It's got a lot of umami as well to cut all the sweet, fudgy flavors from the coconut and vanilla and chocolatey flavors. It's like because there's like that almost savoriness to it that's like sharp that helps cut those flavors. Almost soy saucy, but not too much. But I also somewhat like that flavor in stouts. But it's a big beer. Like you gotta like the big beers to like this.
Yeah,
it's a massive one. But yeah, I'm glad I had a second bottle, and I don't think this is something you should age. I think you should drink this as it is right now because it drinks awesome right now, and with age, the adjuncts will just fade. So
I think so too.
Yeah, and I think you can still find it some places online and some bottle shops. So I wouldn't sleep on it. A lot of people who's had both the side project and the Omnipollo one says the side project is better, but that's always how it is when two brewers do it and one brewer is more hyped than the other. It always goes to the more hype brewery. That's how it is. But side project, it's amazing. It's probably my favorite brewer of stouts. Of all brewers, like it's one of the few breweries where almost all the stouts I've had has been at least close to a 100. But yeah, this is
definitely
marvelous.
Recommendable.
Yeah. It would be nice to have a few bottles more of this in the cellar.
Yeah.
Dad trying a hype. He's gonna try more hype after this. But it was fun to revisit this. I think it was about a month ago I had it, and it's still drinking awesome. So if you guys had a chance to try the European version of Omnipollo and side projects Billionaire's hot chocolate, let us know what you thought of it. Rye whiskey barrel aged Imperial Stout in Willet rye barrels for 3 years with Ugandan vanilla beans and toasted coconut. Damn tasty. If you guys had this one already, let us know down below what you thought of it. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And we're going to say cheers.
Cheers.
And see you guys in another beer review.